Hello, I'm Sam Black, and today let's see, is cold outreach dead in 2026? It sure feels like it. When you're pitched in your DMs daily, when all they need is your hard earned money, when all they offer is their offer. It sure feels like if outreach hasn't worked on me, it won't work for me either. So you think there must be another way to book calls because that's something you can't compromise on. Your business depends on it. You want a reliable way to get clients for your B2B service business and not have to do desperate outreach to get them. Even if you can get over or ignore the desperate part of outreach, you're not convinced it'll work for your buyers. Your buyers are busy executives. They won't respond to outreach like you don't respond to outreach. So you do nothing. You stay committed to content, thinking one day you'll be oversubscribed since you've been pouring your heart into your content and the universe will finally pay attention and bless you with 10 plus qualified calls each month. I don't hate to burst your bubble. That's part of my job, selling the truth. We need to align ourselves with reality. We need to set our expectations right so that we can acknowledge what our business model demands so that we can put in that effort. Wanting a reliable pipeline of clients while ignoring outreach and solely relying on referrals and people you know isn't a good bet. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not how sustainable businesses are built. Every week, without a controlled acquisition system, costs you 2 to 3 qualified calls on your calendar. That's 8 to 12 calls per month. With a 30% close rate, you're looking at 3 lost clients per month. If you have a LTV of 15K plus, some of you will have it higher. You're looking at 45K in opportunity lost. Understand this. There are only 3 ways to get clients. Organic promotion, think content, think referrals, think inbounds, think long-term game. I know you want to build a business for the long term, but the long term won't happen without you reliably landing calls in the short term. This bit takes time. Think creating content on LinkedIn, YouTube, developing your authority to an extent where buyers knock on your DMs. That shit takes time. It could take anywhere from 6 to 12 months, even more. Outreach is the other option where things like social DMs, cold email, cold calling, SMS marketing come into the picture. This is something that you actually control, that you're actually sending to targeted buyers. And then based on the people that respond, you're taking the conversation forward towards booking a call. And then finally, paid ads. I wouldn't recommend this until you've completely nailed your offer and messaging and you have been doing outreach consistently. This is a amplifier when things are already working. Plus, this is expensive. Even if you find social DM pitches cringe, can you argue against the fact that you still read them? Meaning you still consume them? Can you make that argument for other channels such as cold email, cold calling, and SMS marketing? I don't think so. The reason you dislike DMs is because they always lead with their pitch as opposed to your problem or your constraint. Social DMs sounds like a lesser devil, but will busy executives book calls with me? This is a major objection that a lot of my people have. To them, I always ask, if your messaging speaks their hell fluently, leads with their problem, not your pitch, and runs at volume, why won't it? If you're not leading with your pitch, instead leading with their constraint, leading with their problem, and runs at volume, you're not just doing sporadic outreach and sending 20 to 30 connection requests per week and hoping a miracle happens. You are running your proper system with 150 connection requests each week with a proper outbound messaging system, dedicated follow-ups, never missing them ever. Why won't it? But Sam, I don't have time to do outreach, or rather I don't have the expertise. This is acceptable. This I can agree with because building a client acquisition system through content and DMs requires you to first dedicate 20 plus hours per week. Second, it requires 6 to 12 months of expertise to decode what's breaking. When you have your content engine running, when you have your outreach engine running, it's not magically going to happen that you are going to book 10 plus qualified calls per month. Things are going to break. Your DM scripts need to be optimized. Your content needs to be fine-tuned based on the feedback that you're receiving from the market. That will take 20 plus hours a week of creating content, sending DMs, responding to them, and diagnosing performance. Plus, it can take 6 to 12 months of expertise knowing what to diagnose. That's where I can help. If you want to see what's actually stopping executives from booking calls with you, book a free client acquisition audit by clicking the link in the description. Hope this was useful. I'll see you in the next video.